I think all of the intensity over these mystery drones over New Jersey and the UK is a really good opportunity to talk about how to think like a scientist, because this is getting out of hand. First of all, why is it so important to try and think like a scientist when it comes to something like these alleged drones? And that's because emotion can cloud your judgment. Whether you're depressed or excited, it affects how you interpret events and the data around them. And the fact is that we have very little data to go on right now. All the images are really grainy. Nobody's shone a spotlight on it. Um, the lights obscure the look of whatever the vehicle is, and so we have to be careful and not speculate. But what you can do as a scientist is make hypotheses, and that's what I'm going to explain. And don't do something like what Congressman Jeff Van Drew said. Oh, it must be Iran with drone motherships based on zero evidence. And obviously, he can't cite his sources where he heard it. So what I mean by these hypotheses is that you need to kind of think about all of the possible things that it could be, no matter how likely or improbable. Make a list of them and then write a percentage mark next to it with how likely you think this could be. And I'll explain what I mean.
So first of all, is it Iran? I don't think so. I don't think they would have the capability. If there was a drone mothership out to sea, then it would have been detected by the U.S. Coast Guard. Those things are fairly easy to find, and I don't think they have any sub capability. So I'm going to say less than 1%. Okay, I'll come back to Russia and the USA, but is it civilians? I think this isn't very likely either, because of the size of the vehicles and their loitering time. They're going to need massive battery packs. These drone and like some of them are the size of a car or a small car, and the amount of money that would be needed to get those, I think, it would be outside the most civilians' capabilities, unless it's Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates having a laugh. So I'm going to put this at about 10% likelihood. Is it aliens? I'm of the opinion that it's never aliens. And why would they be developing drone technology on Earth at exactly the same time that we're getting quite advanced drone technology? It doesn't seem to me that they would be using bright lights in the sky either. So I'm going to say less than 1% chance that it's aliens. Now, comes to complicated ones. Russia or China or the USA? Now, USA has had history of testing on their own civilians. And I'm actually wondering, could this be a time where they're trying to see what the civilian response would be in the event of drone warfare or things seen over the skies, or are they testing it to see how other nations might respond? So they're testing it on their own first. I'm going to put this at about 50% likelihood. If you think I'm a conspiracy theorist here, then I urge you to go and Google MK Ultra. Right, so is it Russia or China? Now, I don't think they would be doing it for surveillance, because they're using security lights in the sky. They're flying at night. Why would they be using security lights, or safety lights rather, if they're trying to do surveillance in the middle of the night? It just doesn't seem right to me. But Russia and China are known for messing with the USA, aren't they? And I think it could be some kind of new terror tactic they're trying out, or some kind of new speculation. I'm going to put this at about 70%. Now, the reason why I'm not very sure about any of these things is because of how little information that we've got.
So these are rather weak hypotheses because there is a distinct lack of evidence to support any of them at the moment. The military is keeping quiet about it. They probably do know, I would imagine, but for whatever reason, it doesn't behoove them to tell us at this point in time, particularly because we're civilians and you don't know what we're going to do with the information. Although the drone sightings are ramping up, what we don't know is how many of them are actually genuine drone sightings, how many of them are actually confirmed by the military or the Coast Guard. We do know that the Coast Guard saw a swarm of 13 drones. And like I say, alleged drones, we don't know if they actually are drones. We don't know what they are at this point in time because of the dodgy, grainy footage. And that's another thing to remember, that the footage is really poor quality. So until we get more evidence, we don't know what's going on. And then when there is a vacuum of information, speculation fills that void. So be sure not to speculate. And just keep watching the skies, I guess.